Oh, you got ignored, left on red, or even ghosted out of nowhere. Wow, what a surprise, right? It's like part of you is just there, begging for a response, desperately seeking a little validation. And of course it hurts, doesn't it? It stings deep down. But what if I told you that being ignored is the best thing that could have happened to you? That this is your golden chance to take back control of your life, stop being a doormat, and walk away with your self-esteem through the roof. Yeah, my friend, that's exactly right. These days, attention is like money, and you're about to get rich without having to humiliate yourself for some emotional pennies. In the next few minutes, I'm going to rub it in your face why being ignored might just be the best blessing in disguise you've ever gotten. And I'm not going to hit you with cheap motivational talk, no. I'm going to teach you how to turn the tables on this dirty game, to go from being a needy mess to someone everyone wants to take a second look at. And guess what? You won't even have to beg for attention. This is pure psychological warfare in relationships. By the end of this video, you'll stop seeing being ignored as the worst thing in the world and start seeing it as the best opportunity to rise with class. Instead of just surviving it, you're going to learn how to inflate your ego and grow like never before. So, are you ready to flip the script, or are you going to keep sitting there waiting for a sign of life? Let's get straight to the point. Number 1. Know the true value of your attention and stop giving it away for free. We live in an era where attention has become the new gold, and guess what? Everybody wants a piece of yours. It's not just social media with its endless videos or ads popping up everywhere. No, even that annoying friend who only shows up to complain about life is desperate for a few minutes of your time. Everyone, absolutely everyone, is in an invisible battle to steal what's most valuable to you, your focus. And you know the worst part? You don't even realize you're giving it away for free. Now, here's the painful part of the story. When someone ignores you, they're sending a pretty clear message, even if they don't say it outright. They're basically saying, your attention means nothing to me. And what do? You suffer, feel like crap, as if your attention really has no value. But that's where you're making a brutal mistake. Let me shake you up a bit. Your attention is pure gold, way more valuable than you realize. And guess who's devaluing this gem? You are, when you insist on giving attention to someone who doesn't deserve a single second of your time. Now, enough of being the clown in this circus of attention. I'm going to give you an exercise that'll open your eyes. Do a 24-hour audit of your attention. Sounds simple, but it's more powerful than you think. For a whole day, write down everything that's getting your focus, whether it's a person, an app, or even an activity. Don't skip anything! By the end of the day, you'll have a list that might feel like a slap in the face. And then comes the crucial part. Ask yourself with brutal honesty if these people, things, or activities really deserved your attention. Were they worth your time, or did they just drain your energy for nothing? If the answer is no, congratulations. You just figured out where you're wasting your attention, and consequently, your energy. And now, my friend, it's time to flip the game. Those who didn't value your attention, cut them off without mercy. There's no time for waste. Start investing your attention in things that truly uplift you, help you grow, or people who actually add value to your life. And most importantly, start giving attention to the one who deserves it the most, yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you don't value your own attention, no one else will. Number 2, become a rarity. Everyone wants. Ever notice how people get obsessed with what they can't have? It's the classic scarcity principle messing with everyone's psychology. What's rare automatically becomes desirable. And you know what else fits perfectly into this game? Your attention and your presence. When you're always there, available, replying to every message like a 24/7 customer service rep, you become that item on the shelf nobody cares about. Too accessible, too predictable. Congratulations, you just turned into tap water. Always there. No mystery, no value, no excitement. But when you become more scarce, that's when the game changes. You stop being just anyone and turn into a vintage wine, the kind where just one glass is pure luxury. Low accessibility, high value. And guess what happens? People start to notice. Suddenly, you're no longer the desperate one begging for attention, but the rare gem everyone wants to win over. Want to know how to become that rarity? Here are 3 strategies to stop being tap water and start being exclusive champagne. 48-hour rule. This is your secret weapon. wait at least 2 days before replying to those non-urgent messages. Especially if the person who ignored you now suddenly remembers you exist. Teach them a lesson about value without even saying a word. Cultivate mystery. Stop posting every detail of your life on social media. Seriously, no one needs to know you had sushi for lunch or hit the gym at 6 a.m. Let people wonder where you are, what you're doing. Mystery always stirs up desire. Create FOMO, fear of missing out. This is where it gets good. When you do post something, just give a little glimpse of your exciting life, that amazing party or that big project you're working on. But don't reveal everything. Leave some suspense. It's like throwing out bait. Whoever bites, bites hard. Remember, you're not playing games or being difficult. You're becoming a true rarity, something unforgettable and valuable. And let me tell you something. The more you do this, the more you'll realize the value people placed on you before was nothing compared to what you deserve now. Number 3, the mirror technique. Ever heard of mirroring? In psychology, it's used to build rapport and trust between two people, like that trick of discreetly copying someone's gestures. But today, my friend, we're going to use this technique in a much sharper way. Instead of mirroring others to build bonds, we're going to flip the game and use mirroring to redirect, not towards others, but towards yourself. When someone ignores you, what's your instinctive reaction? To focus all your energy on that person, tormenting yourself, trying to understand why, waiting for a tiny message. Yeah, that's where you're messing up. Instead of acting like a dog chasing its tail, here's what you're going to do. Mirror their behavior, but with a genius twist. Don't do it for them, do it for you. All the energy you would have wasted trying to grab their attention, redirect it, and invest it in yourself, in your projects, in your life. Want a practical example of how to apply this? Great, let's go. Let's say you were ignored for a day. Perfect. Use that time to drop the phone and hit the gym, strengthen your body, and release all that negative energy through sweat. Now, if it's been weeks of silence, even better. This is the exact moment to dive into that side project you've been procrastinating on. You know, that plan that's been stuck? It's time to get it off the ground and start rolling. What do you get out of this? 2 major benefits. You stop torturing yourself with this ridiculous rejection. You let go of the obsession with finding out what happened and start focusing on what really matters. You turn a situation that could have been a major cold shower into a personal growth opportunity that will take you to the next level. And the cherry on top? When that person finally realizes they screwed up, that they ignored someone who's on an incredible upward trajectory, they'll come back. And by then, surprise, you'll be so busy evolving and growing that you won't even have noticed they were gone. Number 4, reprogram your brain to stop self-sabotaging. Now, let's take a quick trip into neuroscience, because it's time to understand what really happens in your brain when you check your phone for the 1,000th time to see if that person who ignored you has finally responded. The truth is, you're stuck in a dopamine loop, just like a gambling addict. Every glance at your phone, every "did they reply" moment is like pulling the lever on an emotional slot machine. You're basically playing Russian roulette with your own well-being, waiting for that tiny hit of validation that may never come. But enough of being a slave to this cheap dopamine game. It's time to give your brain a reality check with a dopamine detox. Yep, you're going to have to reprogram your entire system to stop living for these emotional crumbs. And I've got a 7-day plan to help you do just that. Days 1 and 2. No social media. That's right, cut the habit of mindlessly scrolling through feeds looking for nothing. Days 3 and 4. Only use your phone for what's necessary. Forget about checking messages or stalking the person who ignored you. Days 5 and 6. Say goodbye to TV and streaming. No more numbing your brain with endless shows. Day 7. Complete digital detox. No screens, just you and the real world. During this week, focus on activities that will give your brain a healthy dopamine hit, like physical exercise. Seriously, your health will thank you. Learning something new. How about pulling that idea out of the drawer? Or having real conversations with friends who actually value you? By the end of the 7 days, you know what will happen. Your obsession with the person who ignored you will disappear. You'll realize you don't need that pathetic validation anymore. Your brain will be reprogrammed to find satisfaction in things that truly matter, not in the responses of those who clearly don't deserve your attention. If you're tired of being treated like a fool, of being the guy she steps on and then tosses aside, it's time to wake up. Read the digital book in the description of this video. After reading it, you'll learn how to be cold and calculating, to never tolerate disrespect, and master the art of putting any woman in her place. Stop being a doormat. Stop swallowing disrespect, and start being the man she not only respects, but fears losing. The time has come to turn the tables and take control of your life. Number 5, become the prize everyone wants. In the business world, a value proposition is what makes someone choose one brand over another. Now tell me, what's your value proposition in your relationships? Why exactly should someone choose to spend time with you over anyone else? If you don't have that answer at the tip of your tongue, it's time to work on your personal branding, because the way things are, it's not looking good. Let's be real. If you don't know what you bring to the table, how will others know? No one's going to guess your qualities while you sit there waiting for attention to fall into your lap. And yes, you need to sell your presence. Because, my friend, if you don't value yourself, no one will. So, let's get to work. Do this. List your 5 main qualities right now. That's right, no false modesty. Now think about how these qualities benefit others. For example, if you're a good listener, the benefit you offer is that people feel understood and valued around you. If you're funny, you brighten the day of those around you. That's value! And if you can't see that, no one else will do it for you. Once you've identified your qualities, it's time to show them to the world. It's no good being amazing if no one knows about it. If you're funny, why not start a comedy podcast or post funny videos? If you're smart and insightful, why not use social media to share thought-provoking reflections? The point here is simple. Instead of chasing after others' attention, become the prize people want to win. Become the person others need to be around. Because, let's be honest, if you're running after people begging for attention, you've already lost the game. Number 6, stop betting everything on one person. Let's face the reality. The reason being ignored hurts so much is that often you place all your emotional expectations on one single person. Seriously, how can you do that to yourself? You're there, crawling for crumbs of attention from one person, as if the whole world revolves around them. Big mistake, my friend. It's time to stop acting like this person is the center of the universe and start diversifying your emotional portfolio. Because no one deserves to be emotionally dependent on a single source. Here's a challenge for you. For the next 30 days, commit to meeting one new person every day. Yep, 30 days, 30 new connections. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be as simple as exchanging a few words with the barista who makes your coffee or joining an online group you find interesting. The point is to step out of your bubble and expand your circle. And why is this important? Let me explain. You'll realize that the world doesn't revolve around that one person who ignored you. There are 7 billion people out there, so the harsh truth is that the person who doesn't give you attention is just a grain of sand on the beach. You'll expand your network. More people in your circle. More opportunities for real connections. Who knows? You might find people you truly connect with without having to beg for attention. Your social confidence will skyrocket. The more you put yourself out there, the more confident you'll become. And you know what the cherry on top is? This automatically makes you more attractive even to that person who ignored you in the first place. Now, understand this. The goal here isn't to replace people like they're disposable. The idea is to remind yourself of your own value, of the absurd amount of connections that are available to you. Stop acting like the world is short on good people. Abundance is right there, you just have to open your eyes and take it. Number 7, use rejection as fuel for reflection. Being ignored. It hurts, doesn't it? But instead of playing the victim and moping around, how about facing the reality? Rejection, in fact, is some of the best feedback you're avoiding seeing. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, gives you that feeling of failure, but it's also a golden opportunity to look at yourself and your relationships with a critical eye. Instead of crying over spilled milk, why not use this silence as a mirror? It's time to ask yourself some very uncomfortable but necessary questions. What patterns do you see repeating in your relationships? Do you always fall for emotionally unavailable people, the ones you know will never give you what you want? Do you give too much of yourself too quickly and end up scaring people away, suffocating them before things even heat up? And the classic, have you been neglecting your own needs just to please others and be accepted? Look, this isn't about making yourself the villain of the story. It's about identifying areas that need improvement because, let's face it, no one is perfect. Maybe you need to boost your confidence. Maybe your boundaries are too weak and it's time to tighten them up. Whatever it is, use this rejection as the catalyst for real change. Here's a practical tip that may seem simple but is powerful. Write a letter to the person who ignored you. Yes, write everything you wanted to say without holding back. But here's the trick, don't send it. After writing it, read the letter out loud to yourself. Most of the time, what you wanted to say to the other person is exactly what you need to hear yourself. And you know what this does? It gives you brutal clarity about what's missing in you, not in others. This is the moment to turn "I was rejected" into "I learned something that will help me grow." Number 8. The Phoenix Protocol, rise from the ashes like never before, or stay in the mud. It's time to stop playing games with life and accept the raw truth. You were ignored, kicked to the curb, and now you're crawling for attention. But enough of that! If there's one thing you need to understand once and for all, it's that this pathetic behavior of chasing after crumbs is over. Want to keep crawling? Fine. But just know that while you're doing that, life is passing by, and those who truly matter don't give a damn about your desperation. The moment has come for you to rise or stay stuck in your mediocrity. The choice is yours. And if you really want to break free from this pathetic life, I'll give you the only way possible, the Phoenix Protocol. Either you burn this pitiful version of yourself now, or get ready to stay in the trash. The phoenix doesn't rise out of nowhere. It first needs to turn into ashes. So let's do it. Appearance. Stop procrastinating and make that radical change you've been thinking about. It's time to stop looking like a nobody. Want to be taken seriously? Then change, renew your image, and show who you really are. Or are you going to keep that face of someone begging for attention? Skills. You're living on autopilot, stuck, not learning anything new. Enough of that. Get up and go learn something useful, something that challenges you and makes you grow. Or are you going to spend your life being mediocre and complaining? Environment. Your life is a reflection of your surroundings. Wake up. If the place you live is a mess, so is your mind. Organize it. Change everything. Flip the game in your own territory. Or keep living in this hole. Relationships. Are you surrounded by people who don't add anything to your life, who just drag you down? Time to cut those anchors that are keeping you at the bottom. Oh, does it hurt to cut people off? Yeah, it does. But it hurts more to keep sinking with them. Final action. Document every step of your evolution. Not to show others, but for yourself, so that when you look back, you'll see the garbage you came from and how you rose stronger. Do it for you, not for the person who ignored you. Now listen closely, because here comes the final slap. When you finally rise from the ashes, you won't be that idiot waiting for a reply anymore. You'll be so focused on your own evolution, so wrapped up in your own success, that the person who ignored you will become nothing. And you know why? Because you won't need anyone's approval anymore. So the question is, will you rise from the ashes or keep getting stomped on? The choice is all yours.